loan officers, realtors, really anyone in the professional space, I have a question for you. Do you feel overwhelmed with content creation? If this is you, this is the episode for you. We have a solve. Welcome to Lending Leadership, the Creative Brief. I'm Rach.
And I'm Ren. I love that opener, Rachel. There's so many times that I hear officers just talking about the consistency of having a message, having something to talk about every week to their audience, to their realtor partners, to their past customers and their business partners on social media and just communicating out there to the public. We have a solve. We cannot wait to get into the meat and potatoes of this episode with you. But first, I want you to think about your week to week. How are you scheduling your day when it comes to content creation and making sure that you're staying in front of your audience? I feel like that's a really good place for us to start. Don't you, Rach?
Yeah, because I think most of the time it's a shot in the dark. It's like, oh gosh, I haven't posted on social media in a while, or oh gosh, I haven't sent out an email or a text to my network, and you just kind of going with the flow, which is fine in some ways, but it's always better to be strategic and have a plan, because then you can measure that plan, you can grow that plan. If it's just a dream and a wish, that's not no plan. I hate to break it to you.
It sure is not. And then we end up kind of cheating on ourselves sometimes, as you like to say, Rach, where we end up using the time that we had suggested that we spend for that content and for those releases doing something else. So I feel like the tool that we're going to talk about today is going to help you leverage your time so that we can set up content on a regular basis. We hear a lot of loan officers talking about this and how it's really helpful to them, but it's not a leverage against your time. And I think that that's the biggest tool, that's the biggest takeaway, and what we're going to get into in this episode.
Absolutely. So without further ado, this platform is called Social Coach. We looked at a number of different platforms, and this one, for a number of different reasons, we decided to go with Social Coach. One of the biggest reasons is that scheduler that Curran talked about. You know, it's so nice to be able to automate something, but you don't want to be able to automate something to the point where it's set it and forget it, and it has no personalization to it. So you want to make sure that you are actually having some skin in the game and not just pushing out marketing material that your company's providing to you. You want to make sure that it's branded and that it's about you, because at the end of the day, people buy you first and foremost, right? So the scheduler is huge.
The scheduler is a big deal because, again, it's a leverage against your time. So now you have a scenario where, you know, as a loan officer, you're looking to your marketing department to provide that content that they're putting into this tool, this software and library, in which it's linked to your social media accounts, and you can just load up messaging 1, 2, 3 times a week on those moments where maybe you don't have a personal share, or maybe you don't have a video ready to go. And, you know, as far as the library of content, you know, the sky is the limit. You can do Q&A graphics, you know, holiday seasonal information, product and service support when you want to talk about a specific product or service, you know, at your firm. You can get into just regular first-time home buying experiences and just really those kind of conversation starters, things you want to put out there in which maybe a customer reaches out and says, I have a question about that. Or maybe a realtor partner says, hey, I didn't know that you offered that. Let's have a coffee next week. This is what we're really trying to do when we have a software tool like this that enables you to have a message out there on a consistent basis. How many conversations can we create? How many reactions can we get? Increase your following and increase your online presence. It really does a good job. I absolutely love Social Coach for this reason.
Yeah, it does. And hey, they don't even know that we're talking about them today. So this is a shameless plug. You know, we love this tool and we use it, and we've found a lot of success with it. Another way, because I love talking about time, and I'm so glad you brought that up, because I feel like another way, and this is so funny, Ren, that it saves time is that basically you connect all of the social media platforms you have under the Social Coach umbrella. And I don't know about y'all, but when I go on to Facebook or Instagram to post something, I have to be so intentional with what I'm doing, because I will squirrel and go down the rabbit hole so easily. And then you're like, what was I doing? What was I on here for? So the nice thing about this, especially from a professional standpoint, you can just log into Social Coach instead of having to go to each individual platform and then post to all places at once, never having to touch the platform, which is nice because it keeps you on task. I mean, how many times it's the equivalent of going and walking into a room and saying, oh, wait, what was I doing? I mean,
I like how you reversed that for our audience, Rachel. I like how, we're talking about that because it's not just the amount of time that you're spending coming up with the content, which is what I first talked about, but also the time wasted, I think
Yeah.
is what you're addressing there, Rach. When you get on and you start wasting time on social media, it is designed to suck you in and have you continue to scroll, right? So we want to make sure our time is intentional and that it's targeted. The other thing, and I don't want to switch gears too quickly, but I think this is something that we really have to address with our loan officers, Rach. The personal branding element of Social Coach is something I wanted to talk to you about. What can Social Coach do to make your graphics, your moments stand out from other loan officers in the industry that are talking about, quite frankly, the same topics?
Well, and that is so big because yes, people need to hear things first of all 5 different times, 5 different ways. And we've talked about this in other episodes how it's so important to carve out that niche to position yourself as the thought leader. And if you are just pushing out content from your company, people don't really care. So, one aspect and element that they have within Social Coach, which honestly, this was a huge reason that I was attracted to it to begin with, is that they have stickers. And I love this. They have these fun little stickers that you can create. So you can put your headshot, you can have different wording, you can have your team logo, you can have lots of different things that are specific to you saved within your Social Coach library. And your marketing team can create graphics that are somewhat generic, but then all of a sudden you put your sticker, your branding on top of that. I mean, there's a world of difference. We've actually done side by side comparisons where I've posted the same exact message with the same exact wording in the post, and I'll do it maybe, a month or so apart. And the one that has my picture, has my branding on it, outperforms the generic graphic by like 3 or 4 times, sometimes even higher.
Sure.
So anything that you can do to go that extra mile to show people, hey, this is really me posting this, I think it really cuts through the noise a lot better.
Yeah, it makes you stand out. And a lot of times we'll have these graphics where, officers are pointing up at a message, they're pointing to the CTA. They're maybe in a couple different outfit changes, even though the photo shoot was taken in the same session, right? So it appears as if, you can put your favorite blazer on, or then you could have your favorite suit on in another picture, all showcasing different content and just giving it a more kind of branded professional edge. Another thing that I really like is because Social Coach offers so many options to load up library content and campaigns and categorizes them for the loan officer right at your fingertips on the app on your phone, or if you want to hop online and you're an online web person, is that we can section out actual categories within categories. So what I mean by that is, let's take holidays for an example. Your marketing department can build out several different lines of holiday imagery and graphics so that if you have, 5, 6, 7 of your colleagues all in the same generalized location, or maybe you have some realtor partners overlapping, you can still send out a custom campaign that looks different than your colleagues. Not only just with your stickers, but you can do different tracks and different campaigns. So the imagery looks different as well. These are, again, ways to make you brand and stand out, aside from not just your competitors, but also your colleagues. So everybody has a chance to succeed.
Well, and I want to ask you this, Ren. I've used this Social Coach at previous companies before. This is the first time that our marketing team has used this. How did you feel that the transition or the learning curve was? Because, I walked in and I've used it before and I sold it to y'all because I loved it so much. But how was it from your perspective with the team and inputting graphics and creating graphics? How was that for you? I have never asked you that before.
No, it's a great question. It was pretty simple. It was a matter of downloading the app, and really you're just connecting links to your direct social media pages on, if you have Facebook, LinkedIn, Insta, if you're a TikTok user, you can connect all of these links direct from the app. And then the marketing team on the back end is just loading the content in, so you can select your campaigns. And, as we talked about, set and forget, which is kind of a double-sided term, right? There's a positive to set and forget, but you also want to just keep an eye on your marketing and what you're doing so that you're staying fresh and adding those personal moments as well. The other thing I really liked, Rach, is the compliance element,
Yeah,
that you're
I know you
protected.
would love that.
Well, of course, in the space and role that I'm in, I need to make sure that the company is protected and that the loan officer is protected, right? So obviously your individual NMLS, your company NMLS, the equal housing lending logo and website and information that we want to make sure is present on every message online is a part of the social coach platform. So it's another thing that you don't have to think about when you're setting up those posts. Make sure you're protected from a legality standpoint.
Yeah, and you can have things flagged too, which is nice. You can put in a phrase to say, hey, if Susie Loan Officer uses this specific phrase, it will flag and the team will get notified so that nobody gets in trouble because nobody wants that.
Yeah. And it's protection. It's protection for you as the loan officer and protection for the company, which does better for everybody. Yeah.
It's really cool. I have to say, we have a couple of loan officers that one in particular, she is a self-proclaimed technical nightmare. She's like, I don't know how to do anything. I am such a novice. She used other
I know
choice words.
nobody's relating to this, Rach. Nobody. No. Not even myself at times. No.
I know. No, never. But I love the fact that, so first of all, she'll schedule some one-on-one time with me in the beginning, and she's not even doing that as much anymore. But she would schedule every other week, she would schedule time with me. We would go through and she would pre-post, so pre-schedule posts for 2 weeks. Then we'd meet again and she'd pre-schedule. We'd walk through how to do it. But now she's just kind of rolling and she really didn't even need me. I mean, I think that's really cool when you see somebody who really hasn't played in the social media sandbox and now she has this tool to be able to do that and get out there. I mean, listen, social media is not the thing that all of a sudden you're going to do one post and sales are going to come flooding through the door. But again, people need to hear something 5 different times, 5 different ways. So I always like to see it as creating a reputation for yourself, letting your reputation walk through the door before you do. So someone's like, oh, I know Rachel. Oh, I know Corinne. Like, oh yeah. It's that nice connection. And I really feel like it's cool to see people, I don't know, try something different and step out of their comfort zone, but in a way that is manageable and straightforward and looks good.
Yeah, it looks good. It needs to be just a tool that you feel like is helping you every week propel your business. And I agree with you, Rach. The best part of it is the consistency of being able to spend a limited amount of targeted time and have that content supporting you. So we would love to hear from you guys specifically about your ideas and what you're doing on social media. Any questions that you guys have regarding this tool of Social Coach and how to use it, how to learn more about it. Love for you guys to comment, share, and tell us more about your own experience.
Well, and even before we jump off, I know there's so much that it offers. I would be remiss if I did not mention this, that they're adding this new feature where you can do video. And I know video is such a scary thing for people because it's, what do I say? How do I say it? So they have a new feature coming out where it has teleprompters, it has scripts in there. You can record right on the app, and that's just right on the website. That's just part of their offering. But
yeah,
if you want
let's slow down on them for 1 second.
Yeah,
tell me how it works, right? Yeah, I mean, I know how it works, but I want to just slow down and illustrate it for any loan officer out there that might not be using this type of feature yet. So if they get a script, they would load it into Social Coach, and then tell about the user experience a little bit of how it works from there.
Yeah, so they can load their own scripts into Social Coach, or there's a boatload in the library that they can pick from. So all different categories, you can even have your team. We've loaded some specific scripts in there, but once they click on a script, they have the ability to pare it down, to edit it, kind of make it their own a little bit. Or they can put their own script in. How many times do we have an idea of what we want to say, but it's just so hard to put the words together when that little red light on the camera comes on. It's really hard. So you can have the teleprompter right on the screen. This is part of the Social Coach platform. It's not any additional fee. And then
how does the captioning and editing work, Rach?
Well, if you would like to take it a step further, for people who maybe don't want to do that lifestyle video, they want a little bit more editing behind it. They want the captions, they want music, they want to have those cool little stock photos or stock videos that pop in and out, or maybe they have pictures from an event that they just did. That is an extra offering where again, you can still use the teleprompter, use the scripting, record it right on the app, but then take it a step further and send it to the social coach video catalyst, it's called, and they will edit it for you. And usually it's about 2 business days that they get it back to you. And I've seen such a huge, huge uptick in our loan officers who really wanted to do video. I don't know, maybe they were good at editing, but editing can take a really long time. And that's taking away from their business.
I think
They're not video
it's
editors.
also a separate, yeah, it's also a separate skill set, right? So
It
to
really is.
have the ability to jump on an app and just say something quickly to your audience, or if you know that you want to talk about a specific product or service, being able to record it and just submit it and then have it sent back to you within 24 hours with captioning, with edits included, and the ability to say, I don't like this part, or I do like this, or can we add some music here? It's allowing a loan officer to feel like a professional editor without being one, and without spending that much time leveraged against their day either. So I think it's an awesome offering and something definitely to check out as a part of the program.
I do too. And, they have all different platforms that you can look into, but I really feel like it has definitely solved that problem of not knowing what to say, where to start, have the consistency. It is very hard when you have so many things pulling you in so many different directions and it's not your specialty. Your specialty is to go out there and play in traffic and talk to people and bring in loans, right? But this really will help because we're seeing loan officers create videos on here and use it in a number of different platforms. Use it in their email campaigns, or maybe they're creating videos that are specific to different steps within the home buying process. So you can really get creative. You can do things with your realtors. So if this is something that you're interested in, we'd love, or maybe you're using it or you're using a platform like this, I'm always so fascinated on ways that we can save time and look good doing it and still focus on the thing that that really brings us the money, honey.
Yeah, Rachel, I love that. I want to finish on one other thing. A lot of times you'll tell me a little bit, about being, being a video expert with us. Stats on video, stats on engagement through video versus just static posts, right? And again, it's not to say that anything that your marketing department is, that you shouldn't be utilizing that incredible content that they're making for you. It's just that we want to incorporate video as well. So I'd love to hear just a little bit more about the engagement stats based around video.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, did you know, Corinne, that video sticks into your brain and you're able to analyze video 60,000 times faster than text? Okay, because think about it. It's hitting many different senses at once, right? You're hearing something, you're seeing the caption come up on the bottom. For me, I'm an auditory learner. When I hear something, it gets into my mind so much better. So when you have that visual and somebody's walking through, it's just so much more memorable. And when you see a video, you are so much more likely to remember that a month later than something you've read. Not to say we shouldn't do text or we shouldn't do blogs. We should still be doing that, but video cuts through the noise so much faster. And really, that's what it's all about. Staying in front of your audience and staying top of mind. And this is a great, great way to do it.
Well, I love it. I think that just gives a little bit more context to Video Catalyst and how it pairs so well with Social Coach in this platform. So wanted to spend some time talking about that with you guys today. And again, I would absolutely love to hear any questions or comments that you have regarding this episode, regarding Social Coach and Video Catalyst, how it can help you drive your business forward. So make sure you engage with us, comment, like, and share. And we can't wait to bring you another great episode next time.
Thanks, everybody. See you soon.
See ya.